Today's video was going to be about what's coming to light about Dominic Cummings' dodgy dealings in the world of government surveillance and data collection. That's taking rather longer to research than I'd anticipated though, because every time I turn over a stone, not only do I find something juicy, it also points me to another stone under which there's something even more juicy. So there's a lot of it. Look for that video at the weekend. Instead, I want to talk to you about another bit of government sleaze, one that so perfectly fits the Tory principle of robbing the needy to pay the wealthy that it could be the poster incident of Johnson's entire government. Richard Desmond is a property developer. He's also one of those rich Tory donors I keep banging on about. You know, the ones that helped them fund their election campaigns, and that Johnson has to keep sweet if he wants to stay in office. Desmond is a billionaire. Yeah, really. He is literally one of those guys with more money than he could ever reasonably spend, even if he had 2 lifetimes in which to squander it. He definitely doesn't need to manipulate a local council out of so much as £1 that they could otherwise spend on public services in one of the most deprived boroughs in London. Desmond has applied to build a very large housing complex in Tower Hamlets. You may have heard of Tower Hamlets. It's the part of London that the EDL keep going to, stirring up trouble, because it has a lot of minorities living there. Minorities who, in this political climate, aren't exactly well off to begin with. If any local council needs money to help its people, it's this one. Government regulations stipulate that housing schemes such as this need to incorporate a realistic amount of affordable housing, the sort of accommodation that locals can afford. Just as an aside, Tower Hamlets and the Isle of Dogs was where the BNP launched its comeback, specifically on the grounds that housing was too expensive for locals. This area is like a smouldering fuse for racial tension, and housing is a very hot topic here. So failure to respect the guidelines could set off all sorts of other social difficulties. Consequently, Tower Hamlets Council delayed granting planning permission for Mr. Desmond's amended housing scheme until he included the requisite affordable housing the law requires. The original plan had been only half the size, and it did meet the appropriate criteria. So the council asked him to reconsider. Reasonable enough, you might think. Mr. Desmond didn't agree, and he went to his old mucker Jenrick, Government Housing Minister, and asked him to overrule Tower Hamlets Council, which Jenrick did. The day before the rules on development levies changed, leaving Tower Hamlets £40 million poorer, and Jenrick's Mara Desmond 40 million better off. Like he needed the money more than the people of Tower Hamlets. Anyway, Tower Hamlets decided to file a legal case against Jenrick. The case which would have required Jenrick to reveal all his correspondence with Mr. Desmond and those acting on Desmond's behalf. So Jenrick folded, admitted that he'd acting illegally, admitted that he'd rushed it through to avoid a change in the levy, and kept his correspondence to himself. So ask yourself this. What could possibly be in that correspondence that was so bad that a cabinet minister would admit corruption and illegal abuse of his position without a fight? What the hell is so damning that Jenrick would rather admit corruption in government than let it be known? We know this government's corrupt. Anyone who doesn't either hasn't been watching or refuses to see the obvious. But this must be something else entirely. What on earth are they hiding now?